Hello everyone, welcome to CodeSoft. In this video, we are going to talk about the DDL commands. So the DDL or the data definition language commands are used to define the database or the table. So these commands are used to create the framework of the table, or you can say these are used to define the fields that are present in the table. So the records of the table are not related with these DDL commands. Now there are several commands that are under the DDL commands. So these are create, alter, drop, truncate, rename. So let's get into each one of these commands and see how these works. So the first command is the create command. So as the name signifies, create command is used to create any table. So the definition is that this command is used to create an empty table or define the schema of the table. Now the schema means that basically the schema gives us the fields that are present in our table along with the data type of the fields. So for example, if we are having the field as ID, so ID will have an integer type data type. Similarly, if we have the data as name, so if the field is name, so the records will be of the type of string. Now, a string in a DBMS or SQL language is known as a varchar, or we can say this as a character array. So all these fields are with the database data type are mentioned in this command. Now let's look at the syntax of this command. So the syntax is create table, table name, and within the brackets we mention the fields that we want in our table. Okay. So now let's look at one example of this create command. So you can see this example that we are creating a students table using the create command, and we can mention different fields spaced the data type of that field. So now let's go to our online SQL server. So here we can compile and check whether our commands are working. So let's just try this create command. So we have to mention create space table, the name of the table, and inside the brackets we will mention all the fields. So the first field was ID space the data type, that is int. The second field is the name space the data type, that is varchar, and the length of it, that is 20. So this is how we can create our data type or table. So if we press on run it, so you can see this is getting executed without any error. Now suppose you want to check whether these fields are actually added. So there is one command, that is execute sp columns and the name of the table. So this command is basically a stored procedure. We will discuss about stored procedure in the later videos. For now, you can just say that with the help of this command, we can actually describe the schema or the columns of the table that are present. So if I run this, you can see we are getting a table, and inside this column name field you can see there are two columns present. First one is ID, second one is name, and the type is also mentioned int and varchar. And if you go on to the length part, so you can see the length is also mentioned 4 bytes for int, that is the general, or you can say the general type of integer type, that it is of 4 bytes length. Similarly, a varchar is a character array, and if it is having a length of 20, so basically it means it can store 20 characters, and since each character is of 1 byte, so basically this the length is of 20 bytes written over here. So this is how we can just create our table using the create command. The next command, or a very important command we can say, is the alter command. So this command is basically used to modify our schema that we have created earlier. Suppose we want to add particular column, or suppose we want to delete any column, or we want to change the data type of any column. All these things, all these actions can be performed using this alter command. So this command is used to modify the schema of any previous created table. Clear? So actions under this: remove column, add column, modify column. Now by modify column means we can change the data type of that column or the field. Now modify length of that data type, or adding constraint. So about constraints we'll be talking in the further videos. So let's just look at the syntax of the alter command. So the syntax says first mention alter, then space table, space the table name, space action name. Now action name refers to the action you want to perform. You want to add a column, remove a column, all these are actions. So we need to mention the action name here. Space action related field. So we will look into the examples and clear this more. So the first example is to add particular column into our previously created data. So it says alter table students, add address varchar 20. So add a field named address, which is a varchar type having 20 length. So let's execute this in our SQL server. So just we can just write it here, alter table students, add, and let's just add a branch named field, and the data type will become varchar, and let's say the length is 20. So if I run this, if I execute this, now the table SP column should return me with three three basically fields. So you can see I'm getting three fields, that is ID, name and branch, and also the length has been mentioned as 20. So you can see you can add a column or a field using the alter command. So the next use case is the drop. Now drop means basically deleting a particular column from our table. So you can just try this on your server again. So that becomes alter table students drop. And now you can mention the column or the field you want to drop. So suppose I want to drop the name field. So this will drop my name field. And if I run this one, this is giving me a error. Okay, so name, so basically here I have to mention whether we want to drop a column or not. So here I have to mention column here according to my example. So yes, so this should work now. Yes, it is working. Now you can see that our fields have reduced from 3 to 2, and the name field has been deleted. So now just let me just remove this command. You have seen this how it is working. So let's look at the third example. The third example is basically modifying any column or altering any column. So if you are using the MySQL server, or if you're using MySQL, then the modify command will work. But if you are using the SQL server that we are using in this case, so here we need to add the alter keyword. So this command is basically used to either change the data type of any column or field, or we can just change the length of any varchar data type that is defined. So let's look at this. So we know that our name data type is of the varchar type. Suppose I want to change my name into an integer type, so I can do that using this. So what I have to do is alter table students, alter column, and now I have to mention the column that I want to alter. So let it be name, and now the alteration that I want. So I just want to make it int, name int. So I think this should work. Yes, it is working. You can see that the name has now been changed to int despite being termed as a varchar initially. So this is working. Similarly, we can just using this alter command, we can just change the length of any data type. So initially it was 20. If I do it 10, so now my name field will have the 10 length data type. So you can see it has been changed to 10 over here in the name column. So this is how the alter works inside another alter. So the next example is how to rename a particular column. So using the alter statement, and inside alter, the rename keyword can be used to basically change the name of any particular field. So the syntax is alter table name, that is students, rename for MySQL or Oracle server, and change is for SQL server, then column, the name of the old name of the column to the new name of our column that we want to keep. And now if you want to change the name of our table, we can do that also using the alter statement. The syntax is alter table students, rename or change to college students. So this will rename our students table into college students table, right? So you can try these commands into the SQL server or MySQL, any online compiler, and you can see how these are working. So the next command is the rename command. So this rename command can also be used if you really want to change the name of the table. So you do not always need to add the alter statement for that. You can just simply use this rename command, and the syntax is rename old name to the new table name. And the example is rename students to college students. So this can also be done very easily. The next command in the DDL is the drop command. Now the drop command is used to delete the table with the schema of the table. So what does this means is that if you are using the drop command, you will actually delete the data of the table, and along with that you will also delete the field names of the table. So entire table will be deleted using the drop command. The syntax is drop table and then the table name. So if you want to see the example, that is drop table students. And the next one is the truncate command. Now see here, you need to notice the difference between the truncate command and the drop command. Truncate command is also used to delete the table, but it leaves the schema of the table. So basically a truncate command will only delete the records or the rows present in the table, but it will leave the field name and the proper schema of that table will be still left behind. So the simple syntax is truncate space the table name. So the example is truncate students. So this is all about the DDL commands. I hope these were clear. You can try this on MySQL, so MySQL or SQL Server, whichever you like, and these things will get more clear. So that's all with this video. Keep adding more festoons into your knowledge garland. Until then, please keep subscribing.